You know, I got a phone call today from a friend of mine. He's 85 years old. I met him in Prayer Park. He asked me if I was the Bible guy one day. And I said, well, I love the Bible and I love the story it's telling. And I said, so if you mean that guy, yeah, that's me. So that's how I met Daryl. He's 85 years old. He lost his wife about 1 year ago and he just dearly misses her. And we started talking and he asked me if I would come visit with his Bible study group. And I said, well, what church do you go to? And he told me it's a large church. And I said, gosh, I would love to do that, but you might want to clear that with your pastor because, their job is to protect their flock and to make sure nonsense doesn't come into their world. So, maybe I meet with him first. He can determine whether this is good information or not. I mean, I think anything to do with the Bible and its credibility is like great information, anything. In this particular case, if there ever was a case for Christ, as Lee Strobel's book says, then this is absolutely the mathematical case for Christ. And it has auspicious dates and interesting and unbelievable dates being revealed through the math, through the computer, and showing that this book is this book here. And here's the book of mathematics, the book of primes, and just pure mathematics. Believe it or not, that's what this book is. It's the underlying math is like, mind-blowing. And so that's something I want to share with folks because what it represents is hope. And when I tell them September 11th, 2027 is the first day of the millennium, I say at a maximum, this is the return of Christ and the Father, but at a minimum, it's Jesus' birthday. I'm not telling you what happens on that day. I'm just saying that's what the math says. And the interpretation of the math is up to the interpreter. One of 40,000 Christian religions, most of those claim they're the only ones with the truth. Well, that's 40,000. But there is one truth, and the underlying truth is called mathematics. It's like a flight plan. When you do a weight and balance on an aircraft, you follow the math and you stay within the envelope. If you go outside the envelope, it's going to hurt somebody. So that is the math we're talking about here. And the Bible, amazingly, to me, is exact down to the hour and the day and the minute in many instances. There's one time that the Bible says, no man knoweth the day or the hour, and that's absolutely true. It's like having a meeting at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. But when is the speaker going to show up? Is that a day before, a week before, the week that Christ, Palm Sunday? He showed up 4 days before the big event occurred on the marriage festival of Cana and his birthday, his actual baptism. He showed up a day before when he met John the Baptist, and 7 days later, Sunday, and this time we even have the hour and the day. It's like 6:48 Saturday evening, which is actually Sunday. He showed up, 7 or 7.5 days before the actual event. So that's what is still true. No man knows the day or the hour of when he shows up. But the first day of the millennium and the birthdays, the math is the math. I really enjoy defending that position because, and even though September 11th is a very auspicious date, it's not something I chose. It's something that worked backwards through the science and through the mathematics, and that date was revealed. I wanted it to be September 21st because that's when James Ussher said it was. The Catholic Pope, Gregory VIII, in the 1500s, I believe, he removed 10 days because of drift of the Gregorian calendar, which puts it at September 11th. He didn't even know that he nailed the date exactly. So, but that's not a date. That wasn't something that James Ussher had. He had a 365.25 day. Same way with Isaac Newton. So it was pretty, they got very, very close. And it was just revelatory. But we have tools today that they didn't have then. So I like to give credit to some of that because I'm able to check things very quickly. So at a minimum, we have hope right here for that day and bringing justice, true justice to the world. And I'd have to add that that's probably the definition of the Beatitudes for the most of us. That's the kingdom, the law that we're going to be living in. So go to xm316.com. These are all things we need to do to continue to work in the fields and so we can continue to get this message out to those that need to hear it, would like to reinstall some more hope in their life.